Welcome to Weekly Briefing. I'm Chanel Rion. From the beginning, Joe Biden's low IQ combined with his thirst for power was as renowned in Washington as his reputation for fondling female staffers. But this was the least shocking part of Biden's rising persona. Step into the time machine. Here's the moment in 1987 America realized Biden was nothing more than an empty-headed frat boy lying his way to the top.
I went to law school on a full academic scholarship, the only one in my class to have a full academic scholarship. Went back to law school and in fact ended up in the top half of my class. I was the outstanding student in the political science department at the end of my year. I graduated with 3 degrees from undergraduate school and 165 credits, only needed 123 credits.
Biden now concedes he did not graduate in the top half of his law school class, that he does not have 3 degrees from college, and that he was not named outstanding political science student in college.
What's wrong with our system that it propelled a huckster of this subterranean caliber all the way to the presidency? The answer is simple. More than being a shameless liar, Joe Biden has been, all his life, a shameless plagiarist. He steals words and ideas like his career depended on it. And it did. This is where it gets interesting. Puppet masters love plagiarists. Plagiarists are the ultimate order takers, the ultimate submissives, the ultimate intellectually insecure servants. Here we get to the psychological underpinnings of Biden's buffoonery. In case you've forgotten just how bold Biden's rhetorical thefts have been, here's a Biden at a California State Democratic Convention in 1987, lifting word for word from Robert Kennedy and pretending they're his own.
It cannot measure the health of our children,
the health of our children,
the quality of our education,
the quality of their education,
the joy of their play,
or the joy of their play. It does not include the beauty of our poetry, or the strength of our marriages, the intelligence of our public debate, or the integrity of our public officials.
It doesn't measure the beauty of our poetry, the strength of our marriages, the intelligence of our public debate, or the integrity of our public official.
It measures neither our wit nor our courage, neither our wisdom nor our learning, neither our compassion nor our devotion to our country.
It counts neither our wit nor our wisdom, neither our compassion nor our devotion to our country.
It measures everything in short, except that which makes life worthwhile. And it can tell us everything about America, except why we are proud that we are Americans.
That bottom line can tell us everything about our lives, except that which makes life worthwhile. And it can tell us everything about America, except that which makes us proud to be American.
Now, not all plagiarism is on purpose or malicious. Sometimes it is purely an accident. Sometimes the staff really are to blame. The thing about Biden is he so consistently stole the works of others throughout his life. You couldn't just blame it on staff. Though he tried a few times, this tendency was all him. Biden plagiarized his way through law school, through his 2 presidential campaigns, through policy proposals. It's all documented. Here's the infamous plagiarism that sunk Biden's 2nd presidential bid.
Why am I the first connect in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
Why is it that Joe Biden is the first in his family ever to go to a university?
Why is Glenys the first woman in her family in 1,000 generations to be able to get to university?
Why is it that my wife, who's sitting out there in the audience, is the first in her family to ever go to college?
Was it because all our predecessors were thick?
Is it because our fathers and mothers were not bright?
Those people who could work 8 hours underground and then come up and play football. Those people who could sing and play and recite and write poetry.
Those same people who read poetry and wrote poetry and taught me how to sing verse? Is it because they didn't work hard? My ancestors who worked in the coal mines in northeast Pennsylvania and would come up after 12 hours and play football for 4 hours?
Well, if Biden's ancestors did have those qualities, the hard work and integrity buck stopped with Joe. Joe later admitted he never had any family working in the coal mines. So I just showed you 2 of his most famous plagiarism examples. The list goes on and on and on, but you get the picture. Put simply, Malicious plagiarists are by definition unoriginal, lazy, dim, talentless frauds. They don't have to look too deeply within themselves to understand this. Either they're knuckle-dragging Neanderthals who cheat their way through life, or they're slimy sub-IQ weasels just smart enough to sneak by. Biden manages to be both. A perfect puppet for globalist puppet masters. They provide him the script, he'll read it. They provide him the agenda, he'll push it as his own. Growing senile only makes the manipulation easier for the true masters, and all the better.
The future is not just happening. The future is built by us.
That was Klaus Schwab, the Nazi son Bill Gates views as a mentor, kicking off the World Economic Forum this week, a place where elites descend to plot on how next to rule your life and commodify it. At home, Biden has become the whipping boy of the radical left to a breathtakingly out-of-touch degree. A critical thinking leader would never allow another group's ideology to completely subsume them. But Biden does. Just one day after the tragic shooting in Uvalde, Texas, resulted in the deaths of 19 children, Biden immediately used the opportunity to push the left's anti-gun talking points.
But here's one modest step. The federal agency that measures and ensures that gun laws are enforced and the Second Amendment is abided by, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Explosives, the AFT, has not had a Senate confirmation leader for 7 years because of these disputes. For 7 years, been out without anyone in charge.
Biden's ATF nominee is Steve Dettelbach. Dettelbach opposed arming teachers.
I think this is a politician's plan, quite frankly. I mean, it doesn't protect people in any meaningful way.
So the Biden administration does not want teachers or Americans armed, all while arming Ukrainian citizens and the Taliban? Just one day after the elementary school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, Biden signed an executive order further villainizing America's law enforcement community to commemorate George Floyd. This in the middle of a crime spike not seen in decades. No, Biden's tendency to lean on and steal the works, words, and ideas of other people have made him the perfect politician. It's why he survived, roach-like, for 5 decades in the swamp. Now that he's gone senile, he's even more controllable. And they're using him to control us. And that's my opening statement. When we return, we talk to the man who's been tracking a major string of the Biden puppet show, and nearly every American is affected. We'll be right back.